Hi there. Thanks for joining me. I'm glad you found me. My name is Diggin, and this is the vibe on this particular channel. Um, it will be about uh, esoteric happenings, I guess, metaphysics, visions. Um, I've been a seer all of my life, and for 41 years, I was a reader. And my primary goal as a reader was to lead people back to God, um, a relationship with themselves, a relationship with others, and the primary a relationship with God. Outside of answering questions and guiding people, this was and is my main priority. Now, um, some of my videos, I have mentioned that in 2010, I had seen this whole political narrative that is happening in the here and in the now. And I'm always looking for certain landmarks as cues for me to say anything or to share what it was that was shown to me. And this in particular is extremely, and I mean extremely, important. Now, I'm a human like everybody else, so I'm always looking at my flaws, shortcomings. Could I have extended myself further? Should I have shared information clearer, not be so hesitant? And this that I'm going to speak about, it's not going to be a long video, but this that I'm going to speak about is extremely important pertaining to the President of the United States. Now, in Vision, they had shown me that President Trump not only was going to be in office, what they showed me was what was going to happen, what were the surrounding energies, and putting all these incidences and happenings and energy all together. It is supposed to relay messages concerning what spawned in that time. So by 2010, I knew of President Trump being in power, the politics. I knew about Pizzagate and this. I don't want to say. Yeah, I'm going to say human trafficking and human trafficking of children. Now, I have not said anything. I have been watching the news. I'm a news advocate. I am a news geek, if I put it that way. Okay, so what am I getting at? Why all this hammering? Well, I'm Canadian by and by. I watched Midterm, and I kept looking for the cue. And what was my cue to actually say anything? And should I have said anything? Like I said, I am not God, but I get a lot of information from what we would call heaven or our heavens. Now, during this process, I had looked around, and another cue was the quest will what's her name? Will Oprah run for presidency? And that automatically I went, okay, now I'm in the time, I'm in the now, I need to share this. What is actually happening, and I did, like I said, mention it in previous videos. Um, I do believe that I mentioned there had been a couple of incidences where they tried to assassinate the President of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump. And when I looked at it, I was going, okay, why? Now, I saw a conversation between him and the elites, and I'm talking the elites that are, above even the royal monarch. What they showed me really disturbed me. And it's extremely important. I mean, we're talking extremely important to America and to the world. They showed me an incident where um, uh, President Trump was walked off the scene. Um, and I'm going to say that this has got to do with security, black suits, white shirts. You get the gist. Now, when I looked, I thought, okay, well, presidents have an 8-year max. That's if he is voted for the second term. Now, when I looked at why he was leaving this platform, for a lack of describing it, I did see people, that had said psychologically he wasn't well, and so on and so forth, and it was the threats and the attempts to kill him, which actually, not even a month ago, seriously, maybe 2, 3 weeks ago, that Secret Service had to once again evacuate the president and his family out of the White House. Now, when I looked at this, I thought to myself, why am I being told this? What is it that I'm supposed to see? Or better yet, what am I supposed to understand that I eventually need to share when that day comes? And that day's in the here and in the now. They showed me that if by chance, and that's where I'm like, oh, okay, so everybody has a free will, you know, everybody is at a fork in the road, and everybody has that decision to make in their lives. And the politicians and the presidents, they're not immune to this. They face the fork in the road many times, many a years, many a people. But the angel that was showing me and the angel that was talking to me had shown me what a detriment it would be for this President Trump, to be taken out of office, out of the political arena. That war, World War III, would be instantaneous. Instantaneous. And the moment that your political party, called the Democrats, held power, it was mayhem. People might as well start, making their plans now. So we've got a solar system that we need to worry about. There is politics that needs to be worried about. There is Nibiru that needs to be worried about. Earthquakes, tidal waves, and this World War III was going to be adamant. So there wasn't going to be any way around it. None. And I saw hell. Literally hell that was to be paid. I've said I didn't see Russia being an issue, even though in scripture and people translating it, they do think and believe that it is Russia. But I saw who the real enemy was going to be China. And I saw huge bomb fires, I mean huge, and people being dragged, women, children, men, and we're talking screaming, because these bomb fires, they were human rather than wood burning. And I looked everywhere, It was just mayhem. There was so much darkness that, you know, we don't see the real sky now. That takes place, and there's a lot more that isn't going to be seen. Now, I've always stated that the moment one of the dominoes begins to fall, they all fall. So heaven truly is aware of that axe. You know, it's not a small axe cutting down a big tree. It literally has to do with a big axe cutting down a little tree. That's more like it. So that means that the USA is in immediate danger with him being taken out of office, for him not running, and the reason is because he's doing the lawful thing. He's holding people accountable for their actions. Where it becomes difficult is the deeper he got down the rabbit hole, is what they're calling it, the more aware he became of how high up these crimes were committed. Not the little guy, but literally the guys at the top, the people at the top, and from the little guy all the way up to the top. And it is this that truly has them unnerved. It's not so much about finances. It's not about the dollar. It's not about currency. It's not about the feds, even though they are accountable and even responsible, because he's really rocked the boat. Then you'll also hear that he was bribed to do so by a Rothschild, and the bribe was $20 billion, and that was pretty much to shut up, back off, change strategy, do things differently, or from his grandchildren on up, everybody was toast. So not only is he looking after each and every individual in America, and not only is he looking after a presidency, he's also looking at his family and asking himself, how far can he go? That God willing, his family be safe from all this. Now, when they threaten from children all on up, any human being, any parent is going to throw on the e-brakes. So I'm telling you, as a seer, that this could be the possibly worst scenario ever, ever, okay? Because Hitler will look like a charm, believe it or not. Stalin will look like a charm, believe it or not. And that treacherous Mussolini, because I was born in Italy, worse than him even. And that is this power, this superpower that is, what do we want to call it, the rise of the Antichrist, or the rise, because the Antichrist is already here, the rise of Lucifer, because of them having had the key to open that pit. Now, I beg you to please share this particular video, because there's a lot of lives at stake here, a lot of lives. Now, I've been a seer, I've been a reader for 41 years. I have helped family, children, pregnancies, you name it. And each and every one of them can tell you that my foundation is God, and that my greatest love is my love for Christ. I like the fact, as well, as after 41 years, you're either a masochist that would keep calling me back, or I know a thing or two, and they're always saying, no, 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 and then they say, how did you know, when nobody else did? And I'm going to tell them the same way that I'm telling you, because God did. God gave it to me. God gave this information to me. Sounds strange. Our Lord did. Angels did. So, you need to know. You really need to know how important and in how much danger Mr. President, Mr. Donald John Trump is in, right down to like I said, his grandchildren. So one, the support of the people would make all the difference in the world. All the difference in the world, A. And B, if you believe in positive thought or you believe in prayer, well, we all better start now. Because like I said, it's not just America. America gets, for whatever reason, and which I know is targeted. Period. But the aftermath, it spreads and spreads and spreads, and we are then looking at World War III. And that's really going to suck. Now, looking further into the future, there's a couple of interceptions that change in the sense people are still going to be held accountable, definitely, and people are going to be enslaved. And I am so sad to say that. I mean, I'm a human too. And I will talk specifically about this enslavement in this next video or two. So, but for now, people need to know this. People need to know that nobody is safe here. Nobody. And the one person that is and has been making changes in America has been the President of the United States, the President Trump. So, they get their wish and he moves out of office for the love of his children, his wife, his grandchildren. You need to understand why. Now, if there's any disbelief in what it is that I'm telling you, the fact that he really is in danger, there is, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people know, and that would be a spy. He had worked for the USA by the name of Robert David Steele. Now, he provides this information on a video, and the video literally is Uncovering Deep State, What's Next. So it's Robert David Steele, Uncovering the Deep State, What's Next. I suggest, it's about 50 minutes long, but I strongly suggest that you watch this video. And as you've watched that video, please share that video. Please share this video. The public really needs to know that nobody's safe. It's all about greed. It's all about control. It's all evil. All of it is. And this is why this is happening. They don't want to let go of the purses. They don't. Now, they figure he's arrested enough people, and they are throwing on the brakes, and they're bringing out all the big guns, the really, 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 really big guns. Now, like I said, they've had to evacuate the president and his family out of the White House in the middle of the night, like 3 o'clock in the morning, I believe it was, between 2 and 3, and it's really that close to home. So there is that reality that nobody's safe. Nobody is. And we really do need to pray. Our world, Lord knows, we need to pray. Because there's no prayer that is unheard, and there is no prayer that is unanswered. If you don't believe in prayer and you believe positive thoughts, send as many positive thoughts as you possibly can. You don't have to believe what I'm telling you. Go ahead, check out this other video. I'm pleading that you do. And as the Lord is my witness, share and share and share this information. This president, we all need worldwide. We all need. This man has been diffusing World War III, And hats off to the gentleman. Hats off to him. So everybody, the same way he's standing up for everybody, everybody needs to stand up for him. And the only way is by letting people know, hey, look, there's trouble. Now, when angels and guides come and they tell me this, it's not a matter of getting it wrong or right. Heaven knows what's right. So the information that I'm getting is coming from God. That's it. Don't tell me that the devil this, the devil that, yada, 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 yada. The devil is absolutely nobody as far as I am concerned. You know, he knows his time is short. He knows that he's a liar. You know, he knows that all he's got to do is tickle somebody's fancy with something they might like, which is normally cash or popularity or fortune of some sort. um, uh, you can't bring any of it with you. You can't. And when we pass over according to our works, this is what road we head to. So I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm going to say here again, uh, look, this president needs to stay in power longer than the 2 years that he's got left. Because if they have it their way, after this term, he'll be ixnayed. He'll be gone. Not murdered, but he'll be gone. He'll be out of the picture. He can go back to being Coco the millionaire, as Mr. Steele had stated, rather than secure the seat for his presidency. And that would be a huge loss. A huge loss, not just for America, but for everybody worldwide. Okay, so I'm wrapping this up. This is Diggin. This is the vibe. If you think this video worthy, please share. Please give it a thumbs up so we can get these videos rolling. And you know, last and not the least, it's not going to hurt if you subscribe. Okay. Until then, I bid you adieu. I'm going to say good morning, good evening, and good night. And I will talk to you soon. This, like I said, it is the vibe. Ciao, amore. Ciao.